What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And recently, my fellow agents, some of you have reached out to the channel asking me to highlight one of my favorite legendary skill builds to use when I'm farming in the summit. Therefore, today we are going to revisit one of my favorite ones to currently use in the game, and chances are when Project Resolve launches at the beginning of February, we are going to be seeing some buffs to brand sets, which will definitely improve skill builds in the game. But for right now, I want to show you something you can use in the meantime. Now we're going to start with the specialization. And as you can see, we are using Technician. We're doing that for three main reasons. First of all, it is going to give you an extra skill tier. Secondly, you get a 12% damage bonus to drone skill proxies and robotics. And the specialization also gives you access to the Talent Overclocked CPU, which is going to give you an extra 10% skill damage. And remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting that additional 15% weapon damage bonus. My primary weapon for this build is the Harmony Rifle. Absolutely love this thing for a skill build. Now, as of my recording this video, it is a PvP exclusive. However, you can possibly get it from named caches, so I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Now, the reason it is so effective is because of the talent Perfectly in Sync, where hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds, and damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. My secondary for this build is the Capacitor. If you do not have it as yet, you can farm for it anywhere the AR is the targeted loot, and if you've never gotten one before, it is a guaranteed drop by completing certain challenges in the summit. It has the talent Capacitance, where shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage, and not only that, for each skill tier, you're going to gain 7.5% weapon damage as well. So because I'm at skill tier 6, right off the rip, I'm getting an extra 45% weapon damage, and if you do not have any of these weapons in the meantime, I recommend using the named assault rifle, the test subject, because that has the talent Perfectly in Sync as well. And as far as the rifle goes, feel free to use any other one that you like. I do recommend putting the regular talent in sync on one of those, and it will still get the job done. Now onto the gear. You can see we're running 3 Empress, 2 Hannah U, and the Waveform holster. And starting with the mask, it is the first piece of Empress. We are running 3, so we get all of the brand set bonuses, which are 10% skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. And on every single piece of gear in this build, I want to stack skill damage as well as skill haste or skill duration everywhere I can. I will touch base on that once we get through the build breakdown. That takes us to the body armor, and one thing I'd like to mention as we move on is that even if you don't have the perfect build, you can still get the job done. You can see that middle attribute is explosive resistance. I would much rather that be something skill based. And of course, I'm going to continue to farm to try to put together the perfect build. You'll notice that other things aren't maxed out as well. Obviously I want that, but in the meantime, I can still hold my own with this thing. Now you can see the body armor has the talent Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill is going to generate a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. Moving on to the holster, you can see it's the exotic Waveform. For those of you that do not have this, you can farm for it anywhere the holster is the targeted loot. It has the talent Alternating Current, and in the meantime, if you want to throw something together, I recommend putting a piece of Wyvern in its place. That will give you an extra 10% skill damage bonus. The knee pads are the third and final piece of the Empress, once again stacking that skill damage and skill haste. That now takes us to the gloves, which are the first of 2 pieces of Hannah U. That is going to give us a skill haste and skill damage bonus, and you'll notice from my core attribute, I wanted to reroll that to armor for more survivability, because remember, with the Technician specialization equipped, we are getting that extra skill tier, which keeps us at skill tier 6. Now that takes us to the bag, which is the Force Multiplier. In my opinion, one of the best bags for skill builds in the game. It has the talent Perfect Combined Arms. Shooting an enemy increases skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. As far as my skills go, I'm using my 2 favorite in the game, the Assault Drone and the Assault Turret, but you can really put any 2 skills you want here. Now that is going to take us to my passing along a few recommendations for those of you out there who are just jumping into legendary content, and the first thing I want to recommend is go to the summit to try out your build. It is much easier than a stronghold, and that will give you a baseline on how this thing actually performs for you. And secondly, in my opinion, this is where you really want to test out your build. You want to make the decision, would you rather have a rifle as your primary? Do you like to jump in and out of cover, or you're more aggressive with an assault rifle? So fellow agents, take your time, learn your build, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. Most of you know that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel, so if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. One thing I failed to mention at the beginning of the video is that we do have giveaways here. You can see our current one is for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced April 4th of this year. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage. I want to thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Incoming. High risk hostile.